Hello everyone, it's February week 4 and time for the Let's Journal prompt in the Facebook group, the Mixed Media Emporium. And for anybody that wants to follow along with our prompts and challenges, I'll leave the link to the Facebook group in the description box below. So please do feel free to come along and join us. Now, I have had fun and games over the last couple of days. These are the backgrounds that I created in last week's video for the Let's Get Arty Mixed Media Challenge. And I'll leave the link to the video showing how I made these in the description box below, but I lost them. I came to prepare my video yesterday and could I find these backgrounds? They had completely vanished off the face of the earth. I've spent probably, I don't know, 3-4 hours turning my craft room upside down looking for these, and they had fallen down the back of my drawers. So what I'm thinking of doing, I want to make some ephemera using these backgrounds. Now I've got some butterflies that I made in a previous project that I thought might go quite well with these backgrounds. Let me just pull out a few. These are some of the ones that I'm thinking of. We've got one of those already. Perhaps we could have one of those. I think there's a larger one as well. Let's start off with some of these. I thought these butterflies, these were butterfly embellishments that I made from a freebie that I got from the Graphics Fairy. And again, I'll leave the link to the video showing how I made these. Really easy. You can print the ephemera to make these from free of charge. But, you know, colour-wise, these look lovely, don't they? I love that one there. That one there isn't quite the right colour. You see, that one goes quite well with that page there. So does that one. So we'll pop that off to one side. I'm thinking that one perhaps gets a little bit lost. I'm going to discard that. That's too big. And so we've got these two here as well. So I am thinking that my first project is going to be made using both or either or of these two pages here. Don't those look lovely? Those go really well. Now, I've been fiddling around with these, trying to decide which one I like the best. I'm discarding this one because I prefer this one. I always find with this that it's the process of elimination. And which of these do I like best? You see, that green one there is still calling me. I'm drawn to this background here. You see, I like both of those. Oh my goodness. Right, okay, now I need to make a choice. I'm sticking with this one here, so I'm going to discard that background for the time being. I don't want two that are exactly the same. But what I like about this one here is that the dark colours mimic the stamping in the background, and I just think it looks aesthetically pleasing to my eye anyway. I want to keep this simple, just because I don't want to distract too much from this gorgeous background. I've got some burlap. Now, I keep being asked about this, and let me show you the reel. This is Natural Linen by Eleganza, premium quality frayed edge burlap ribbon, and this is 2-inch, 70 millimeters. Hang on a second. Let's have a look. Let's have a measure. 3-inch. 3 inches this one here is. I also have it in a much wider width as well. This is the same thing, but this is 4 inches. So Eleganza again. I also have some similar ribbon as well from Bertie's Bows, and this is 1 inch. I use this stuff all the time. It's absolutely fantastic. I've also got some of this as well. Now, this was a Christmas gift from my youngest son. I asked him, he said, "What do you want for Christmas, Mum?" And I asked for some of this. And this is sort of like a silk linen very similar, but much thinner. So just about an inch and a half. But colour-wise, these two just look absolutely beautiful. And I'm wondering whether I can layer these two and perhaps have my butterfly on here, something like this. Maybe some threads as well. I've pulled out some of this gold thread. I don't know. I need to go off camera and just have a play and see if I can pull something together. And then maybe a few words, and you know, that will be that. As I say, I just want as much of this beautiful background showing as is possible. I've been playing around with this for a good while, but what I think I'm going to do is have the green as a band around the middle. The way I'm doing this, I've just glued it onto the back. I've put some glue stick onto the back of my fabric, and I'm just going to wrap this around, so that will hold my fabric ribbon in place. Also keep it nice and flat here, and I'm just going to take this off to the sewing machine and just stitch all the way around. Now I've cut myself a piece of the larger burlap, and I could either have this and then the butterfly on here like so, or I could put a piece of the thinner burlap across there and then have the butterfly on there. And I think I actually prefer that. So I think I'm going to take this off to the sewing machine and just stitch it top and bottom. I've added my stitching, so that's what that looks like. You can see the rows on the back. So my butterfly is going to go here. Now I'm toying with the idea as to whether I should add some of these gold threads. Do I like it or not? Let's just try and spread this around. You see, I think that looks kind of cool. So I think I'm going to glue my butterfly down on top of those messy threads. And I'm just going to use some of my collal glue, fabric glue, to do this. If it will come out of the, here we go. Now I want my butterfly to be dimensional, so I'm just going to add it in the centre. I've also bunched up all of my fabrics as well and the end so that that's in the centre as well. And I'm just going to pop that down there like that. That looks really cool, I think. I wanted to keep this really simple. I've just inked around the edges. I have decided to cut off the extra strings, and I've just added a few words. Every day is an adventure. Those were from the Tim Holtz Ideology chit chat. And now that the acetone glue has dried, it's stiffened it. I love how that looks. Any type of acetone glue, Fabri-Tac 3-in-1, collal glue that I used in this case, hardens, which sometimes can be to your advantage, and certainly so in this case. So I'm leaving that one there. I think the background speaks for itself, just enough detail to make it look interesting. So let's see if we can do something with one of the other backgrounds. Now, my other favourite background was this one here. So I've decided to cut some of the Tim Holtz Wildflower dies. These are the thinlits. This is what the die set looks like. This is an old one and probably my most used die set. Now I want to colour these, and I don't know whether I'll use all of the stems. I've got no idea yet, but let me just pop that off to one side. I'm working on my glass mat again. I want to start off by doing the stems, and I've got some bundled sage and some peeled paint. I thought these two greens would be nice for the stems, so let's just water this down, and I'm going to use this a bit like a watercolour. So let's add the lighter colour first, and I'm just going to dot this. In fact, actually that's not quite strong enough. I need a little bit more. I hope I'm not off camera here. In fact, I wonder actually whether it might be easier just to dip it in. Let's dip it in both of them and see what happens. Oh, you see, that's really pretty. And I've decided to use Distress inks because I just love the way that that they reactivate. Let me just put some more of this down as well. I can already see that that's not going to be enough paint. Let's add some more of this as well. In fact, let me just move the flower out of the way because I'll do that one last. So again, let's just drag this through the paint. It doesn't matter if the backs get messy because you won't see that when I've glued it down anyway. So I'll continue to do the others, and then I'm just going to dry these with my heat tool. I've also got this design of stem as well. I don't know which ones I want to use yet. And for my flower, I'm going to have to do this with a paintbrush because I don't want the green to get on the flower itself. So I'm just going to use this like a watercolour. This is what I've got so far, and I love these. They're beautiful, and it may well be that I spritz these with water in a minute. Now I want to cover or colour the top of my flower. I'm going to use Speckled Egg and Victorian Velvet because these are the colours that I think I used in the background. I might even add a bit of, I think it's some Vintage Photo that I can see here as well. Let's add a touch of that. I may or may not use that, I don't know, but let's just give these a bit of a spritz, and let's go in with the Victorian Velvet to start off with. And I'm just going to splodge this on, not, you know, overthinking this in any way, and dab that off on my microfiber cloth. Perhaps I should add some of the walnut stain in the middle. We could maybe have some around the edges as well, just really give it that vintage vibe. You see, that just looks so pretty. I like that. Let's see what this looks like with some of the blue added to it, and of course it's mingled with the other colour as well, and that's okay. You see, that's gorgeous. I like that a lot. It just makes it look more interesting. Let's put a bit more down and try and get a crisper blue in there. Just cleaned my brush off as well. Yeah, you see, that's more what I was after. That's so pretty. My flower and stems are dry now, but I just want to add a few white splatters just to the flower itself. Now I'm thinking I don't really want to add it to the leaves, so let's have a look and see, to the stem. So let's see if I can just cover that up. That should do fine. Let's water this down a tad. I've got my bone folder. Oh, I've obviously got some green paint or something on there, but that's okay. And let's just add a few splatters. Splatters just have a way of bringing everything to life. That's so pretty. I've inked around the edges and done 2 rows of messy stitching, deliberately messy stitching. In fact, one line was straight, and then for the second row, I've deliberately sort of, you know, gone wavy with it. You can probably see it better from the back. I like that look. And so I just want to try and piece this together. And I think I'm just going to go off camera now, fiddle around with this. You know me, I'll end up looking at it through the lens of the camera as well until I get a placement that I'm happy with. I may or may not use all of these, I don't know yet, but I'm just going to go off camera now and have a bit of a play. My flowers are glued down, and I've glued the stems down completely flat, but I've left a bit of dimension on the flower itself and only placed my glue in the centre. I'm really happy with that. I think the colours just match the background. And what I'm thinking here is that I can have this little quote here, capture life's moments. I've used some of the Bertie's Bows frayed burlap here, and I've decided to make life easier for myself is to just add a bit of my art glitter glue, just so that I can glue it down to the burlap first. I think that might be easier. It will hold it in place whilst I'm trying to get my brads on. So we'll let that dry for a minute or two, and then I'll add the brads. that's on there now. Now I've had to trim the little legs of my brad down just because they were too long. And I've just taken some cheap wire cutters, poked it through first, splayed them and then cut them down so that they now fit and don't hang over the sides. I'm just flattening these down as much as possible, and then add some more of the art glitter glue. The 3-in-1 or collall glue would work for this as well, but I've got this on hand. And then we just need to find a place for these in my journal. About there, I think. Isn't that gorgeous? I love that. Oh, let's wipe the glue off quick. Here they are, side by side. I just love these. I'm so pleased with how these have turned out. So I need to find a place in my journal for them to go. Now I've earmarked a spot for the butterfly one. I just absolutely love it next to this paper bag. I think colour-wise it goes really well. So do I want it to go on the right hand side, or do I want it to go on the Braille paper? I think I'm going to glue this one down here like so. My next challenge is to find something to go on this side of the page here, but I'm not going to do that today. Love that page, really happy with that. So we just need to find a spot for this one here, and I think I'd like this to go on a piece of the Braille paper, and I'm wondering as well whether I can put some of this beautiful sage green trim underneath it. I don't know. I'm going to have a bit of a play around. Anybody who's interested, you can see that I've applied my glue to the Braille paper itself. I just thought it would be easier. I've got myself a bit of an overhang as well so that I can trim it off. We've got a bit of bleed through, but hopefully that will dry clear and you won't be able to see it. I just added a tiny bit of messy stitching just down this one edge here. You can see it better from the back, but I just thought that would go really well with the messy stitching that I added around the edges here. So I'm just going to stick that down and pop that back in the journal. I just think the green has really added something special to that page, but just still keeping it nice and simple and not taking away from that beautiful, beautiful gesso background. Well, I don't know about you, but I think that page just looks absolutely lovely. I love the colours. Love it against this book page here as well. Just gorgeous. So that's that page there, and then of course there's that one. So 2 more pages completed in my journal. I'm leaving the video here for today, but of course I've still got 3 backgrounds that I need to do something with. I have no idea what I shall do with these. I mean, these are perfect for turning into artist trading cards. I could even cut circles out of them and turn them into artist trading coins. I don't know. I think 2 in this journal is enough for the time being. But, you know, I hope that's given you some ideas and inspiration. Of course, I'll leave the link to the video showing how I made these beautiful backgrounds in the description box below. I'll also leave the link to the tutorial showing how I made my journal, because I get asked that every single time I show it. It's got just a no-sew binding, which is why it was so easy for me to take the pages out. But, you know, I hope you've enjoyed today's video, and as always, if you did, I'd really appreciate a thumbs up. Do let me know what you think in the comments below. Let me know which page is your favourite, but most importantly, thanks for watching. Take care everyone, and I'll see you all again soon. Bye for now.